Hello there. Well, I've just come from one of our customers to pay a visit to see how they're getting on with their new autoclave. Well, not so new now. They've had it for 6 months and I wanted to see how it is, how they are and what they think. As it happens, they came back with a lot of comments that I want to share with you. First of all, overall, they said they were really pleased with the autoclave. They found it very easy to load, easy to use. But the most important things were, believe it or not, having the clear instructions on the lid for occasional users. Having the instructions on the lid might sound like a basic or obvious thing, but when you have a busy laboratory full of different makes of autoclaves, and you also have different students, different technicians coming to use the autoclave, autoclaves differ. And to have the instructions clearly here to remind you on how to use this particular autoclave makes a lot of sense and something that the head of the lab really appreciated. The clarity of the controller and the controls was a big bonus as well. People who use reading glasses found that they don't actually need to use them with this machine, which makes life a lot easier and a lot more convenient. As you can see, the screen is very bright, very clear, very intuitive. And if you have a look at the buttons, you'll see again they are very clearly marked, they're large and easy to operate, even with gloves. Another thing they particularly liked was the easy closure system. Amongst the machines that they had in the laboratory, they found this Zealway by far the easiest to open and close. And what they particularly liked about the closure was that it's a good solid clunk, indicative of a very well made machine. They appreciated the low loading height, which is achieved by having a slightly wider diameter chamber than most autoclaves of this size. This is a 60 litre machine. The 85 litre is very similar. Because of the extra width, the extra diameter, you have less depth. So you have a nice low loading height, which makes it easier to get into the machine. And it also means you make better use of the overall capacity. So in effect, you have a larger machine than you would have with a comparable 60 litre machine. As I mentioned, the autoclave is packed with feature. One of their favourite features was the hold warm facility to keep media warm after sterilisation so that it's kept at the ideal pouring temperature. Up till now, they were having to remove the media from the autoclave and put it in an incubator. Whereas here, they've discovered that they can just leave it in the autoclave as long as they like. And they also loved the fact they could run the autoclave overnight, and then in the morning, the autoclave is full of pourable media just ready for them to get on with their prep work. They also sterilise a whole lot of pipette tips. Now they can be problematic, but they found by using the right cycle that they would always get dry pipette tips at the end of the cycle. Again, a great boon because you don't have to take it to a separate drying cabinet to dry them out. So when asked to sum up, our customer and now experienced user of these autoclaves said three things. First of all, she said that this is packed with useful features and functions. Note the word useful. Secondly, she said it just gets on with it, and certainly we found this is a very much no-nonsense autoclave, just does exactly what you want as well as you could expect it to. And her last comment was, it does everything you'd expect from a premium autoclave, only better. So why don't you find out for yourself? Get in touch with us now. There's been an interesting pattern emerging with the people that have been using this autoclave, whereby they actually, believe it or not, express a fondness for it. Now, autoclaves are well known to be a boring piece of equipment in the corner of your lab, but people are actually looking forward to using it, if you can believe that. One company held on to their trial autoclave because they'd done so many of their own programs on it, it felt like part of their team. It did the jobs they wanted it to do. So when we went to Zealway, we asked for our, dare I say, dream autoclave. We wanted to pull up all the features that our European competitors have and see what Zealway would do and run with them. And that gave rise to the Amicus version of the Zealway autoclave, which meant that we packed it with features that might otherwise be non-standard. Everything from a built-in printer to a USB connection to 316L stainless steel chamber, and also the fact that we've got a wider chamber that's not as deep and so easier to use. The armoured cable for the low sense process timing, not to mention being able to hide it away like that. It's these little touches that just make using an autoclave a little bit better. This also comes with autofill from an internal reservoir, auto drain, and that together with the exceptional controller for clarity and for ease of use gives us a bundle that is really, we think, unbeatable. And this isn't any sales spiel. This is what has come from our customers, some of which have actually taken the time to call us up and thank us, believe it or not, thank us for the autoclave we provided.